My name is Carmen Ramsey, and like many Christians, I have my God story, and it's the story I share with people about how I came to know the Lord. But this particular story is a moment within that story. It's a God moment, a moment when I realized that He was working in my life. And it was so very clear. This one particular time was a season. It was a difficult season that Scott and I was going through. What I specifically remember about this season is this one particular moment. Scott's going into Walmart to grab a ream of paper. And I very, very clearly heard God say, "You need to pray. What do you want? What do you need? You need to pray." So I started praying. I prayed fervently and just prayed and prayed. And this particular difficult season involved other people. And Scott and I were under attack. And up until this very moment, I was overwhelmed. And I couldn't think straight. We were inundated with so many demands that it was hard to think straight or focus. So it felt like we were being buried. And so I prayed that day sitting in the car in Walmart parking lot that God would show us something that would stop this attack. And if for no other reason, just out of the other party's self-preservation, that we could just be done. And Scott comes back and he gets in the car. And I don't think I said anything to him at the time about it. So we go back to our friend's house and we're digging through stuff and information. And I literally, not only did I see God answer one or two prayers, but within that single prayer, it was 100 prayers answered over and over again, lie after lie after lie. And I remember looking at Scott and I'm like, here it is. I prayed about this. I prayed earlier this evening, just a couple of hours ago, and God answered our prayers. And you know how sometimes someone will say to you, I know it's hard now, but someday you'll look back on this and you'll be able to laugh about it. That someday was that day. From that point forward, I had such a peace about everything. I was like, it's going to be fine. I know God's with us. And I knew God had answered other prayers, but this particular prayer was just paramount in the peace that I needed to go through this. And there are a couple of things I would like for someone to take away from this. The first thing would be, if God tells you to pray, if He tells you to do something, do it. Be obedient. And the second thing would be just the beauty of His peace, just knowing that He's with you, and how literally all of that stuff, if you've ever just had all that stuff just all bunched up inside you and you feel ugly, or just ugly, there isn't anything good about it. And for all that to melt away, it is freeing. It's like forgiveness when you forgive somebody else. And so this is one particular moment in my life as a follower of Christ where I heard Him loud and clear, and I didn't have any other choice but to be obedient. And He honored my obedience. And He gave me complete and utter peace about the whole thing.
Thank you for joining us this week on Your Everyday Life podcast. We pray that you were encouraged. Make sure to visit our website at youreverydaylife.org, where you can subscribe and receive weekly devotional blogs from Scott. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Your Everyday Life. Be sure to give us a comment on how words of encouragement has inspired you, and pass the word on to a friend who you know needs encouragement. Be sure to tune in again next week when once again we will look at everyday life topics and apply words of encouragement. Until then, stay encouraged by what you heard today, and may you be greatly blessed.